ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशर्षिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ नारायण पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यम् आर्तिककार्मण्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय मूर्तये नमः। Chapter, the last chapter of Bṛhadāraṇyaka Upaniṣad. As you know, the last two chapters are called Khila Kandas. Madhu Kanda, Yajnavalkya Kanda, and or Muni Kanda and Khila Kanda. So these two chapters are called Khila, like the appendix, like providing the information or the details or the data rather, or what is not provided earlier and which is helpful to what is provided earlier. So this is the Khila Kanda. Bhashyakara says here, Om Prano Gayatri Tyuktam Tasmat Punah Karanad. Om Prana Gayatri Uktam. Bṛhadāraṇyaka 5:16-4. Well, so this is like 14:21. Saisha Gayatri etasmin turiye darshade pade parorajasi pratishtita yadvai tat satya pratishtitam chakshurvai satyam, etc. So ultimately what it amounted to was that Prana Gayatri Uktam, not in the same verse, but this is what was conveyed to us as to how the Surya, the Aditya, has its pratishtha in the Chakshu, and Chakshu has its pratishtha in the Prana. So Gayatri, the feet have the pratishtha in the Aditya has the pratishtha in the Chakshu, Chakshu is the pratishtha in the prana. In that sense, Gayatri was equated to prana. Anand says Anandagiri, Omkara Damaditrayam Brahma Brahmopasanani Tatphalam Tadartha Gatihi Adityadi Upasthanam Ityesha अर्थ है सप्तम में निर्वृत्त है और निवृत्त है राधे ओमकार है ओम खम ब्रह्म सो दिस ओमकार वाज स्टेटेड देयर दमादित्रयम एंड सो दम दान एंड दया सो दिस इज these three values were being told brahma abrahmopasanani the meditation among satyam brahma. And then some other meditations also were there, like meditations performed by dying man, so meditation based on the death, when a person is dying and suffering from pain and being taken to the forest and all of this also. So Brahma Upasana and Brahma Upasana, meditation upon Brahma, Saguna Brahma, as well as that which is not Brahma also. Tat phalam. The results of these upasanas also were stated. Tadartha gatihi. And it was stated also how this gati, how it goes to the world of the Vayu, then goes to the world of Aditya, goes to the world of Chandramas, and then goes to Brahmaloka. So gati means the result of those upasanas, the result of which were not stated specifically. Adityadi upasthanam and salutation to Aditya. So namaste turiyaya, that is how. So namaste turiyaya, what is it? Darshate padaya parorajase iti. So this is how the salutation to Aditya, salutation to Agni also was stated. Agnene supatharaye, om krato smara kratam smara, etc. Iti esha artha saptame nivruttah. All of these have been stated in the 7th chapter or the 5th chapter by our counting. Samprati pradhanya abrahmopasanam safalam. Now, what the Upanishad wants to say is pradhanya abrahmopasanam. In the 5th chapter, primarily the upasanas upon Brahma were stated, and now pradhanya, the primarily upasanas upon abrahma. So that is not Brahma. So upasanam safalam, along with the follow the result. Then Shri Manthadi Karma. Some karma also, not only upasana, but this kanda is going to talk about karma. Because Shri Mantha, we will find out what that is, Adina Putra Mantha, etc. So, Mantha means some kind of a mixture of various herbs, and then that is to be offered or whatever. So, that's called Mantha. So, that kind of a karma is going to be stated subsequently. So Shri Manthadi karma, Putra Mantha, so this karma also are going to be stated. So not an upasana to be stated, but karma also is to be stated. Vaktavyam, all of these needs to be stated to complete the appendix, I guess. All of these things need to be stated. Iti Ashtamam Adhyayam Arhavamanaha. So, Brahmana Sangatimaha. So, the Upanishad as well as Bhashyakara, who now wants to comment upon the 8th chapter, the 6th chapter, provides the Sangati, the connection of the. So, Brahmana Sangatimaha, the Sangati of this Brahmana, Sangati of this, the whole Prakarana, Adhyaya as well as Brahmana, so Brahmana Sangatimaha. Footnote 5 says, Utthapya Utthapakatva Rupam. So how the previous Brahmana becomes the cause of this particular Brahmana, Utthapya Utthapakatva Rupam. So Hetu Hetumat Bhava also. This becomes the Hetu, the earlier one was Hetumat. Prana. So Bhashyakara says, Prana Gayatri iti Uktam. It has been stated how Prana is Gayatri, or rather Gayatri is Prana. तस्मात् प्राणः गायत्रीति युक्तम् उक्तमिति शेषः. So then, kasmat punah karanat, so let us read further the Bhashya. Kasmat punah karanat pranabhavo gayatryaha न पुनः वागादि भाव इति कस्मात् पुनः कारणात्. What's the reason again why Gayatrya prana bhava? How come Gayatri is equated to prana? So it is prana that is equated to Gayatri. न पुनः वागादि. Vashyakara very says prana Gayatri iti uktam. In fact, Gayatri is prana, that was stated earlier. But the way Bhashyakara puts it here is Prana Gayatri Uktam. It is Prana, the white layer that is equal to Gayatri, which is the Murta Murtatmakam Jagat. The Gayatri represents the entire creation. So Kasmat Punah Karanat Prana Bhavo Gayatriyaha. What's the reason again why Gayatri is the self of Prana, or the Prana is equal to Gayatri? So Gayatri is Prana, or Prana is Gayatri. Na Punah Vagadi Bhava iti. That Gayatri was not equated to other organs of perception and action. Gayatri was equated to prana, the vital air, and not to chakshuradis, indriyas, etc. How come Gayatri was not equated? So, there again footnote number 2. Where is footnote number 1? Actually, it is already 2. It is Jignasayam. So, it is Jignasayam. When this question arises, then the reply is given here. Yasmad Jeshtascha Shreshtascha Pranaha Navagadayaha Jaishta Shreshta Bhajaha. It is Jignasayam. When this question arises, the reply is given because Yasmad Jeshtascha Shreshtascha Pranaha. Because prana is Jeshta as well as Shreshta. It is Jeshta, the oldest. Shreshta is the very best, greatest. It is the oldest and the greatest. That is why, so prana deserves to be equated to Gayatri, and the Vagadayo Jaishta Shaishta Bhajaha. Where other organs, so what happens is organs are also called prana in a secondary sense. So the vital is called prana in the primary sense. The organs of perception, organs of action also are called prana in the secondary sense. So Vag, etc., the Indriyas are also called prana. But then, Vagadaha, na Jaishta Shaishta Bhajaha. But the organs such as, so prana such as Vag, etc., they do not enjoy the status of being the oldest and the greatest. Therefore, Anandagiri says, Tasmat Pranaha Gayatri iti yuktam, uktam iti sheshaha, yuktam uktam. Therefore, and prana is one that is possessed of being oldest and greatest, and therefore it is quite proper that the prana deserves to be equated to Gayatri. Then says Anandagiri, Pranasya Jeshtatvadina Adhyapi Nirdharitam. How do you say that prana is Jeshta and Shreshta, is oldest and greatest? You not established that. Iti Shankitva Pariharati. Having raised the doubt is resolved here. Katham ityadina. So first Shanka and then the Samadhanam. Katham Jeshtatvam Shreshtatvam cha pranasya iti tan nirdidharayishaya idam arabhyate. Katham Jeshtatvam Shreshtatvam cha pranasya. How do you say the prana is the oldest and the greatest? Iti nirdidharayishaya. Nirdharayatam ichya. You know, determine that. So to settle that point and determine how prana is the oldest and the greatest, idam arabhyate, this Brahmana is commenced to establish the oldestness and the greatestness of prana. और सिद्धांतगिरी प्रकारांतरेण पूर्वोत्तर ग्रंथ संगति माह प्रकारांतरेण. Or in another way also, this is one sangati. One is what? That prana is Gayatri, that was stated. How come prana is equal to Gayatri and not the organs? Because prana is possessed of the quality of being the oldest and the greatest, whereas other organs are not possessed of, so possessed. But then you have not yet established how prana is oldest and greatest. Alright, this Brahmana will tell us how prana is oldest and greatest. So, this Utthapya Utthapaka. Earlier Brahmana or earlier chapter made a statement which raised certain questions. And those questions or akanksha, expectancy, is being satisfied by this Brahmana. That is how Utthapya Utthapaka Sambandha. Then Prakarantarena Purvottara Grantha Sangati Maha. In another way also, Bhashyakara provides the Sangati, the connection between the preceding text and this particular following text. Sangati Maha, footnote number 4. Hetu Hetu Madbhava Rupam. So Utthapya Utthapaka and Hetu Hetu Madbhava. That this becomes a Hetu and the previous chapter becomes a Hetu Mat. So this provides the reason for something which was there in the previous chapter. So says Bhashyakara on the page 1441. Athava Uktha Yajuhu Sama Kshatrādibhāvaihi Pranasya eva Upasanam Abhihitam Satsvapi Anyeshu Chakshuradishu Tatra Hetumatram Iha Anantarena Sambadhyate. So either Gayatri Upasana was given or Uktha Upasana also was given. See page 14 and 12, if you open that. Uktam, Prana vai Uktam. Then the reason is given why Prana is Uktam. And then Yajuhu, Prana vai Yajuhu, Sama, Prana vai Sama, Kshatram, Prana vai Kshatram. In each case the reason was given. Utthapana, Uktam. This is how everywhere the derivation also was given there. And so Yunaktiti, Yajuhu, that's Yajuhu. And then what is Sama? So Sangamanat Sama. And so Kshatat Trayate iti Kshatram. So in this manner, Prana possesses all these qualities and therefore he was called Uktam, Yajuhu, Sama and Kshatram. So coming back to this Bhashya, Asva Uktha Yaju Sama Kshatrādibhāvaihi Pranasya Upasanam Abhitam. It was meditation on Prana as Uktha, as Yajuhu, as Sama, as Kshatram. So this Upasana was stated about Prana. So Prana was to be looked upon as Uktam, Yajuhu, Sama, Kshatram, etc. Satsubi Anyeshu Chakshuradishu, but the eyes of speech were not being told to look upon, to be looked upon as Uktam or Yajuh, Sama, etc. So how come? Tatra Hetumatramihe Anantarena Sambadhyate. For that, here the Hetu is being told as to how Prana is Jeshta and Shrestha. Therefore, Prana is looked upon as Uktha and Yajuhu, Sama, Kshatram. Siddhanandagiri. So, Adi Shabdad Anna Vaishishtyadi Nirdesha. As Uktha, Yajuh, Sama, Kshatradi Bhavahi. That Adi Shabdad Anna Vaishishtyam, Anna Vaishishtyadi Nirdesha. Again, Anna, footnote number 5 there. Anna Vaishishtyadi. Anna Vaishishtyam cha Viti Gunavatvam Sarvabhuta Shretmadiyavada Atratya Adina Prana Vaishishtyam Gruhyate Tacha Ramiti Gunavatvam Sarvabhuta Vyavahara Prayojakatvam. So that's how Veera. So Veera Gunaga Upasanam. Anna Vaishishtyam. So they said that, some people say that Annam iti Brahma, so Annam Brahma iti Ahuhu. So where are we? 1408, okay. Annam Brahma iti Eke Ahuhu, 1408. Some people say Annam is Brahma. Natatha, one should not take it that way. Tannataha. The reason is that Annam and Prana. So, then Prana Brahma iti Eke Ahuhu. Who says Prana is Brahma? Tannataha. That also should not be taken. But Anna and the Prana is possessed of this guna. What is called? So, Veera Gunakam Brahma. What is V? V, Annam vai V, and Ram, Prana vai Ram. So Annam was called V, Prana was called Ram. Why? So why was it called V? So Vishtani, because Ashritani, all the beings have their ashraya in Annam, therefore Annam was called V, stands for Vish, to enter or to surround, or therefore to have a refuge. And then Ram, so Ramante, so Prana, because everybody is delighted because of Prana, so Prana is called Ram and Anna was called V. That's how Veera, Gunaka Upasanam. Brahma must be meditated upon as possessed of these gunas also. That's what is brought up here. The Adi Shabdat. So, going back to footnote 5, Anna Vaishishtyaditi, Anna Vaishishtyam cha Viti Gunavatvam. That not only Annam should look upon as Brahman, but Annam is possessed of the quality V is what? Meaning Vaishishtyam. So, that Annam is the Ashrayam. Sarvabhuta Ashrayatvam iti avat. Not only Annam should be meditated upon as Brahman, but Annam is possessed of Sarguna Ashrayatvam as being the refuge of all the beings. That's how Anna should be looked upon and meditated upon as Brahman. Atrat Adina Prana Vaishishtyam, there again, So, Adi Shabdat Anna Vaishishtyadi Nirdesha. Then there is another Adi there. So, Bhashyakara is an Adi, Kshatra Adi. There Adi is Anna Vaishishtyam, Adi Shabdat Anna Vaishishtyam. There Anna Vaishishtyadi. Atratya Adina. So, Adi Shabda represents there Prana Vaishishtyam Gruhyate. And then Brahman also was to meditate upon as Prana. Tacha Ram iti Gunavatvam. Ram, so Prana vai Ram. So Prana must be looked upon as Brahman, as possessed of the quality of Ram. Sarvabhuta Vyavahara Prayojakatvam, that Prana is that which is the Prayojaka, which is responsible for the Vyavahara, the activities of all the living beings. So this is how all these, so Prana was told, to be looked upon as all of these and nothing else, and none else. Satsuapi anyeshu chakshuradishu. All the sense organs also are there. How come Prana alone is being told to be looked upon as Brahman or Uktam, Yajus, Sama? Tatra, then Anandagiri says, Tatra iti Pranasyeva Vishishta Gunakasya Upasatva Uktihi. Tatra Hetu Matramiha. So how come Pranasyeva Vishishta Gunakasya Upasatva Uktihi? How come Prana, possessed of those specific attributes, was presented as what is to be meditated upon as Brahman? So Prana was presented as that which should be looked upon as Brahman, and Prana as possessed of those qualities should be looked upon as Brahman. Tatra hetu matramiha. Hetuhu jeshtatvadehi. So jeshtam cha shreshtam cha veda. Prana is jeshta and shreshta, oldest and greatest. Tanmatramiha anantara granthe kathyate iti shesha. Tatra hetu matramiha anantara granthe kathyate. This is all. So next, the following text tells us why Prana was presented there as the pratika, as alambana for meditation upon Brahman, because he is possessed of the Jeshtatvam and Shreshtatvam. That's all that is being stated in this text here. Tadevam Purva Granthasya Hetumatvat Uttarasya cha Hetutvat Anantarena Paura Paurena Purva Granthena Saha uttara granthajatam sambadhyate phalitamaha. Tadevam, in this manner, Purva Granthasya Hetumatvat, the preceding text, the Hetumat, meaning possessed of the cause. That is, the Hetu is the cause. Possessed of Hetumat, cause means the effect actually. Then, Uttarasya Hetutvat, this provides the reason, and the previous text actually possessed the need of the reason. So, Anantariyena, Paurvapariyena, Purva Granthena sa, Uttara Granthajatam Sambadhyate. That's how the following text is connected to the preceding text. Iti Phalitamaha Anantariyena Sambadhyate. So that's all. Anantariyena, Paurvapuriyena, Pariyena, Purva Granthena sa, Uttara Granthajatam. So Purva and Apara, this is the relationship of Hetu Madbhava. That's all this, another relationship is there. Then Anand says, Vakshmana Pranopasanasya Purvokta Uktadi Upasti Sheshatvam Ashankya Guna Vedat Phala Vedatcha Naivamita Viparitya. Vakshmana Pranopasanasya. The Pranopasana that is stated here, that's what this particular Khandika will tell us. Purvokta Uktadi Upasti Sheshatvam. So why not this Pranopasana stated here is a part of the upasana stated earlier. So Pranavai Uktam and Pranavai Yajuhu, Pranavai Sama. So that upasana was stated. Now why not this upasana becomes a part, upakaraka, helping, becoming a part. So Pranopasanasya Purvokta Uktadi Upasti Sheshatvam Adina Gayatradi. So why not this becomes Shesha? This becomes a part of the Gayatri Upasana, Prana Upasana, etc. Iti ashankya Guna Vedat, Phala Vedatcha. See, Guna of the Prana that was stated earlier, like Ukta and Sama, they were different, and Jeshta, Shrestha that is being told here are different, and Phala that was stated there also was different, like Brahmaloka, etc. And the Phala stated it also is different. One becomes great and one becomes oldest, that's a Phala. So Guna Vedat, Phala Vedatcha, Naivam. See, this Upasana was a part of the previous Upasana, then results will be the same. So if you are performing Satyanarayana Puja and Varuna Puja is a part of it, then Varuna Puja also gives the same overall result. If that puja had an independent result, then we have to look upon that as an independent Upasana. So this is independent result, therefore this must be looked upon as independent Upasana and not as part of the previous Upasana. This is a Mimamsa point. Iti abhiparitya aha na punah iti. So Bhashyakara says, na punah purva sheshata. So this grantha should have looked upon as Shesha, as a part or as supporting the previous text. It is independent text. Vivakshitam tu khilatvat asya kandasya purvatra yadanuktam vishishtaphalam prana vishayam upasanam tadvaktavyamiti. Kimini Pranopasana में स्वतंत्र उपदिश्यते. Why do you think that this Pranopasana does not form the part of the previous Upasana? That this independent Upasana, tatra khilatvat, asya khilatvat. Because this kanda is a khila kanda, like an appendix. So it is like a supplementary portion, So khilatvat asya kandasya purvatra yadanuktam. So what was not stated earlier, Vishishtaphalam Pranavishya Upasanam Tadvaktavyam. So Prana Upasana was stated earlier, but still some other Upasanas about Prana possessed of certain specific qualities and yielding certain specific results were not stated. Therefore, this Kanda provides what is unstated elsewhere and previously. That is what the appendix is. That what is not stated in the main text is stated there. Tadvaktavamiti. That is why Pranopasana Swatantra Upadishyate. So this Pranopasana is Swatantra independent. Iti Shabdaha Brahmanarambho Upasamharaha. Iti in the Bhashya is Upasamhara of the introduction to this Brahmana. Okay, now we can read the on the previous page there are some footnotes for 3, 4, 5. So Gadina Gayatri Upasthanam Agnim Upasthanam Grahyam. Okay. So footnote number 3 was Tadartha Gati Adityadi Upasthanam Adina Gayatri Upasthanam Agnim. Alright, so salutation to Gayatri, salutation to Agni also were there. And then fourth footnote we read Sri Mantra, Putra Mantra, and then the Sutthapi Uttapaka that we already read. So let us read the Kandika now. Om Yohavai Jeshtham Cha Shreshtham Cha Veda Jeshthascha Shreshthascha Swanam Bhavati Prano Vai Jeshthascha Shreshthascha Jeshthascha Shreshthascha Swanam Bhavati Apicha Yesham Bhubhushade Ya Evam Veda. Home of course is Mangalacharanam. Yohavai Jeshtham Cha Shreshtham Cha Veda. So one who meditates upon that which Jeshta the oldest and Shrestha the greatest. So one who meditates upon that which is the oldest and greatest, Jeshthasya Shreshthasya Bhavati Swanam. He also becomes the oldest and greatest among his own people, among his own relatives. He becomes the greatest and oldest and greatest. So one who meditates upon oldest and greatest, so there is an entity which is oldest and greatest. One who meditates upon that, he also becomes the oldest and greatest. So then the question is, who is that which is oldest and greatest? The answer is given, Prana Vai Jeshthascha Shreshthascha. It is Prana, the vital force, which is indeed the oldest and the greatest. Jeshthascha Shreshthascha Swanam Bhavati. Therefore, one who meditates upon the prana as Jeshta and Shrestha, as oldest and greatest, becomes the oldest and greatest among his relatives, amongst his own people. Apicha yesham bhubhushati. Suppose he wants to become the oldest and greatest among other people, that also he becomes. Evam Veda, one who meditates upon prana in this manner. Go to page 1442. Although the Crorepatra refers to what we discussed so far, but anyway, let us complete the discussion. We'll come back to the Crorepatra. Evam Brahmanarambham Pratipadya Aksharani Vyachaste. Evam Brahmanarambham Pratipadya, having thus expounded or having justified also the Arambha, why this Brahmana should be commenced, because it should be commented upon. So explain what is the place of this Brahmana. This Brahmana provides Swatantra Upasana by providing us information that was not previously provided. That way it serves the purpose of a khila or the appendix, and therefore it should be, that's how it should be commented. Had it been the part of the previous Brahmana, then also is okay, but we must first settle what it is, what is the place of this Brahmana, and that it was first clarified. Aksharani Vyachaste. Then Bhashyakara proceeds to explain the words of this particular Khandika. So says Bhashya, Yah kaschita havai iti avadharanartho yah jeshtha shrestha gunam vakshamanam veda asau bhavatyeva ज्येष्ठश्च श्रेष्ठश्च यह कश्चित, then her and vai, so avadharanartho, for emphasizing. Yo havai, so her and vai, they are particles, avadharanartho, emphasizing that indeed this happens. Yah jeshta shreshta gunam vakshamanam. So footnote 1, bhava pradhano nirdesha jeshtatva shreshtatva gunam ityartha evam agre vibodhyam. So jeshta shreshta gunam means the one possessed of the oldestness and the greatestness. Vaksham, who is that? That will be stated presently, it will be stated. Veda, one who meditates upon that, asau bhavatyeva jeshtascha shreshtascha. He himself also becomes the oldest and the greatest. Footnote 2, Swana with Shesha, Jnatina with Tadartha. Swana means one's own people, means what? Jnatinam, amongst his relatives, he becomes oldest and greatest. Okay. Whatever complexes people have, I guess that's what they want to become anyway. So upasanas, there's nothing wrong in it. So this is all Abrahma upasana, the pradhanya. Artha kama is going to be the subject matter upasana here also. It's not that moksha is the only thing that people may want, they want other things in life also. And so you should, although Upanishad is not obliged to tell them this, but anyway, sometimes Upanishad also seems to tell them. So this is all karma kanda part actually. If you want to become great and oldest, you can become, then go to karma kanda and perform those karma and upasanas. But anyway, this being Khila Kanda, again, all kinds of things are grouped, which cannot be connected to anything else, are all lumped together here, and so this becomes an appendix. The only justification this says is that what is stated here was not stated before, that's all. And that is how it's a supplementary, complementary, whatever you call it, so portion is there. Yat shabdasya punah upadanam anvayartham. So yah kaschit havai iti avadhana yo jeshta shreshta gunam vakshamanam. So that yah comes again, So yat shabdasya punah upadanam anvayartham. That just for the prose, for the connection. Otherwise, it's not the text is two yah, text is only one yah, bhashya is two yah. So second yah is just to connect with the verb and everything else. So yah jeshta shreshta gunam vakshamanam veda aso bhavatyeva. So havai iti avadhanartho nipatayo artham avadhanam eva paraguttam prakadayati. Bhashyakara said ha and vai are avadharana means emphasis. So what is an emphasis? Bhavati eva. Indeed this person becomes. So one who meditates upon that entity which is possessed of the quality of jeshtatva and shreshtatva also becomes jeshta and shreshta indeed. Then says Bhashya, evam phalena pralovitas san prashnaya abhimukhi bhutah tasmai cha aha. Evam phalena pralovitas san. That's Shishya. So that's how the disciple is tempted. So tempted by the reward, hey, you can become the greatest, oldest and greatest, and therefore now that person is tempted. And so, evam phalena pralobitah san prashnaya abhimukhi bhutah. And therefore the disciple, the Shishya is now, is about to ask the question, who is the one that is the oldest and greatest? So, prashnaya abhimukhi bhutah tasmai cha aha. Tasmai Shishya hai, aha, acharya hai. To that pupil or disciple, the acharya says. So first the result is stated. And so you can see the expression in his face, he's eager to know who is that is the greatest and oldest, so that I can meditate upon that. Then the teacher says, so, prananoi jeshtascha shreshtascha. It is prana who is indeed jeshta and shreshta, oldest and greatest. Nichidanagiri, pranasya jeshtatvadikam akshipadi. No, prashnaya. Kosau Jeshtasya Shrestasi Prashna Tadartham. Then naturally this disciple would want to know who is Jeshta and Shrestha, and then the teacher replies, Pranasya Jeshtatvadikam Akshipati. How do you say Prana is Jeshta and Shrestha? That is being questioned here. Katham it is. And Bhashya says, Katham punaha avagamyate pranaha jeshthascha shreshthaschedi. How again do you determine that prana is oldest and the greatest? Tatra hetumaha, there the reason is being stated. Tatra, so footnote number 10, Tatra akshepe. When that question is asked, then the reply is given here, reason is given, yasmad. Yasmad nisheka kale eva shukra shone sambandha pranadi kalapasya avishishtaha. You say prana is oldest. See, Jeshta, Jeshta means the first one who is born earlier. Therefore it's called Jeshta, Jet. And so, it's the older one, naturally. So basically Jeshta is older. So when you say prana is Jeshta, that means he must be born earlier. So question is, so the questioner in fact clarifies the question. So the reason for the question is being asked here. As a matter of fact, Yasmad Nisheka Kale, Nisheka means conception. Because he explains his own question as to why, how can you say prana is the oldest? Because Nisheka Kale, at the time of conception, Tasmeva Tadaeva Shukra Shonita Sambandha Pranadi Kalapasya Avishishtaha. Because at the time of conception, this Sambandha of the Shukra Shonita Sambandha means what they call the formative elements contributed by the husband and the wife, the parents. So parents contribute these formative elements when they unite. That is when the embryos then, the beginning of the conception, and then the embryo starts and then starts growing. At that time, all the elements in this body in fact are conceived. So not only prana is conceived at that time, but all the organs of perception, action, all of them are conceived. So pranadi kalapasya shukra shone sambandha avishishtaha. At that conception, all the organs of the embryo are equally connected, with this shukra and shone, the virya and rajaha. So they are equally connected, then all of them are born together. The idea is that it is not that prana is born earlier. All the elements of the body, so you are saying that as compared to vagadi, as compared to organs of action and organs of perception, prana is the oldest and greatest. Greatest we will settle later on. But oldest, how to say is oldest? Because all of them are conceived together. Footnote number 5. Na pranasya iti ashaya. Not merely the prana, but pranadi kalapasya, the entire assembly. Consisting prana and other organs also, all of them in fact are conceived together. That means all of them are as old as others, So all of them are equally old. Then how do you say that prana is oldest? That is the idea. So ananya tasma jeshtattvadikam tulyamayava dishesha. Therefore, being oldest is equally applicable to prana as well as other organs. Footnote 11, kalapasya of the whole assembly, it is equally applicable. Then says Anandagiri, Sambandha avishesham angikritya jeshtatvam pranasya sadhayati. The idea is that all the limbs are equally connected at the same time to virya and raja. Sambandha avishesham angikritya, that's right. At the time of conception, all of these are conceived together, no doubt about that. Still, jeshtatvam pranasya sadhayati. Still our prana is jeshta, the oldest, that Bhashyakara establishes tathapeti. So says here, tathapi na apranam शुक्रं विरोहते इति प्रथमः वृत्तिसम्बन्धः न वृत्तिलाभः प्राणस्य चक्षुरादिभ्यः तथापि means what? Āniṣekam kalāpasya shukra sambandha aviṣeṣepi. So it is true that all the organs are equally connected, conceived together. All the organs have equally the connection with the shukra and shronita. That is true. And still, tathapi, na apranam shukram virohati. Nevertheless, so shukram apranam na virohati. The seed, if it is without prana, will not actually develop. That seed which is now planted, which will develop into embryo, will not happen unless prana is there. So, tathapi 7 footnote 7, apranam. Labdha vrittika prana sambandha shunyam. What happens is, the prana must first actually become alive, or the prana must first become active, not alive but active. Even though all of them are alive all right, all of them are born all right, but prana must first become active, and then alone all the other organs can actually be sustained. And so, na pranam shukram virohati. So, without possession of the prana of the life, that seed will not develop into an embryo. Virohati. Virohati means what? Footnote again 8. Na kalala buddhadi parinamam janayati. That's interesting. The embryo then goes through development stages naturally. What is kalalam? A term for the embryo a short time after the conception. And budbuddha. So kalalam tvekaratrena pancharatrena budbuddham. That embryo is called kalala. After one night is called kalala. 5 nights is called budbuddha. The idea is that it must grow into all the stages, kalala, budbuddha, etc. So na kalala budbuddhadi parinamam janayati. Unless prana becomes active and starts nourishing them, sustaining them, the embryo will not grow into all the stages of development. Iti, which means what? Prathama vrittilabhasya pranasya chakshuradibhyah. That means that the prana has a vrittilabha. Prana begins to function earlier than the eyes and other organs, So, chakshuradibhyah. As compared to eyes and other organs, prana begins to function first. And therefore say, ataha, so ataha jeshtaha vayasa pranaha. Ataha, hence, therefore, jeshtaha vayasa pranaha. Therefore, the prana is oldest in the age. Because unless prana becomes active first, the other sense organs could not have become active. Therefore we say that even though all of them are related to Shukra Shonita at the same time, and therefore they come into being at the same time, but still the time of functioning is different. The first thing that starts functioning is prana. Then slowly eyes and ears and what other organs they start functioning subsequently. That being the case, so prana, so prasamo vrittilabha pranasya. Therefore, the prana begins to function earlier than chakshu and others, and therefore, ataha jeshta vaisa prana. Therefore, the prana is oldest in age. Footnote number 9, is it? Ataha meaning prasama vrittilabhat, because it comes to function first. Therefore, it is oldest by way of being the first one who functions. Uktameva samarthayate. Uktam, footnote number 12. Pranasya jyeshthatvam. So that prana is the oldest, again is being here supported by nisheka kaladiti. Says Bhashya, nisheka kalat arabhya garbham pushyati prana. So, nisheda kalat arabhya. So, beginning from the conception itself, Garbham pushyati prana. The prana, the vital force, goes on supporting, nourishing or fostering the embryo. So beginning from the time of conception, it is prana that actually keeps on fostering the embryo. So the moment of conception itself. Tatrapi vipratipanna. Tatrapi pranasya garvaposhaka. Suppose somebody doesn't agree with that, So somebody may have a question, who says that prana actually fosters the embryo? Then Bhashyakara says, pranehi labdhavrittau paschat chakshuradinam vrittilabha atah yuktam pranasya jeshtatvam chakshuradishu prana hi labdha vrittau. Is only when the prana is beginning to function, paschat chakshuradinam vrittilabha, that eye and other organs begin to perform their work. So the potential of the eyes and ears and all the organs is there, but the potential actually becomes manifest only when the prana nourishes or fosters the embryo. Therefore, the prana is the first one who gains who starts functioning the very first. Atah, footnote number 1, Nishek kalam arabhya chakshuradi apeksha pranasyeva garvvritti hetutvena prasam vritti labha. Atah, therefore, meaning Nishek kalam arabhya, beginning from the time of conception, chakshuradi apeksha, as compared to the other organs such as chakshu, pranasyeva garvvritti hetutvena, since prana is the cause for fostering the garva of the embryo. Therefore, prasam vritti labha, therefore, prana is the one that begins to function first. Therefore, yuktam pranasya jeshtatvam. It is quite proper that chakshuradishu, as compared to other organs, namely chakshu, etc., prana is the oldest. It is quite proper. So, Anandagiri, jeshtatveneva shreshtatve siddhe kividi punarukti, why jeshtascha shreshtascha? All right, when he is oldest, he is also the best, the greatest also. The oldest is always the greatest, is it not so? So, jeshtatvena eva shreshtatve siddhe. Why does Shruti says jeshtascha shreshtascha? When you say jeshta, oldest, shreshta, the greatest, already stated. So, kimidi punarukti, what's the need for the Upanishad again to say shreshtatvam? Iti asangya bhavato iti. So, Bhashyakara says, भवति तो कश्चिद कुले ज्येष्ठ है गुणहीनत्वात् तो न श्रेष्ठ है. भवति तो, it can happen. कुले कश्चित, somebody in the family, ज्येष्ठ, by virtue of his being born first, he is the oldest, that it can be. Nadu Shrestha, but he may not be the greatest or the best. Gunahinatva, even though he is oldest in the age, he may not be the greatest in the virtue. So therefore, devoid of the virtue, he may not be the greatest in the family, even though he can be oldest. Says Anandagiri, Jeshtatve satyapi Shreshtatva abhavamuktva. So even though one is oldest, still one may not be the greatest. So that's what Bhashyakara says, gunahinatva, because of being devoid of the virtues. Uktva. Tasmin satyapi jeshtatva bhavamaha. And then, even though shreshtatvam is there, jeshtatvam may not be there. So jeshtatvam is there, being oldest is there, being greatest may not be there, and being greatest is there, being oldest may not be there. That also can happen. So says madhyama iti. Madhyamah कनिष्ठो वा गुणाढ्यत्वात् भवेत् श्रेष्ठः न ज्येष्ठः. It can happen that the middle one or the youngest one also gunadhyatvat, on account of being rich in the virtue, can be greatest even though he is not the oldest. So Bhashyakara says, that's the reason why Shruti says prana is both oldest as well as greatest, because we know in our experience that the oldest may not be greatest or the greatest may not be the oldest. Natu tatha iha iti aha prana evatu jyeshthascha shreshthascha. Natu tatha iha iti pranokti. In case of prana, however, that is not so. Why? Prana evatu jyeshthascha shreshthascha. It is prana indeed that is the greatest, oldest as well as greatest. So that is not the case with prana. It can be case with somebody else, but not with prana. That's what Shruti wants to say, and that's why these two words, Jyeshtha to gunas, this Jyeshtha and Shrestha, both the virtues are stated here. Prana Shresthatve Pramana Abhavam Asankyaha Pratyaha. So that's alright. The prana, the Jyeshthatvam, that prana is oldest, is what you establish, we can understand. But the prana is Shrestha, greatest. Prana Shresthatve Pramana Abhavam Asankya. Where you not establish the prana is the greatest? Iti Asankya Pratyaha Katham Ityadina, says Bhashyakara. So, raising the doubt, it is replied here. Katham punaha shraishthyam avagamyate pranasya tadiha samvadena darshayishyamaha. Katham punaha shraishthyam avagamyate pranasya. How do you say prana is the greatest? Tadiha. Tat, footnote number 2. So tat shraishthyam, yeh prakrita brahmane samvadena, so tehi me pranaha ityadina darshayishyamaha. So that shraishthyam, or the greatestness of the prana, yeh in this brahmana samvadana, like Chandogya Upanishad, here also is going to samvada, a dialogue, discussion between, or rather a not even dialogue, but a discussion, not even discussion, in fact a dispute, as a matter of fact, among the different sense organs and the prana, that I am the greatest. So, tadya samvadena darshayishyama. So, Shruti herself will show how the prana is the greatest by that samvada dialogue, and here we have shown how prana is oldest. So footnote, and then this Purvoktam Upasyapalam Upasamharati. So Upasyapalam, one who meditates upon the prana as Jyeshtha and Shrestha also becomes Jyeshtha and Shrestha. That the result of the meditation is concluded here. Footnote number 5 there, Upakramauktam. So Jyeshtham and Jyeshtha and Shrestha, so Pranavai Jyesthasya Shreshthasya, and one Jyeshtha Shrestha Gunam Veda Asau Bhavatyeva Jyeshthasya Shreshthasya. So already Upakrama, the result of the Upasana was stated, that is being concluded again by the Shruti. Sarvathapitu Pranam Jyeshtha Shrestha Gunam Yo Veda Upaste Saha Svanam Jnatinam Jyeshthascha Shreshthascha Bhavati. Sarvathapi. What is Sarvathapi? Siddhanagiri Aropena Anaropena va ityartha. Shruti says that you should meditate upon prana and Jyeshtha and Shrestha. So whether there is a reason for prana to be Jyeshtha or Shrestha, suppose prana is not Jyeshtha and Shrestha, then what? Then you look upon prana as Jyeshtha and Shrestha. Aropena, and if prana happens to be Jyeshtha and Shrestha, then you don't have to look, it is Jyeshtha and Shrestha, that we meditate upon the guna that the prana possesses. In case prana does not possess Jyeshthatvam and Shresthatvam, then you superimpose the idea and then meditate upon prana is jeshta and shrestha. So, aropena, anaropena va. Footnote number 6 says, prane jeshtatva, shreshtatvoho, asatve, aropena. Suppose you feel that prana is not jeshta and shrestha, then also look upon prana as jeshta and shrestha, because Shruti says so. Satvecha. And if you discover that prana is jeshta and shrestha, then anaropa. There is no need to do aropa or superimpose because it is jeshta and shrestha. Sarvatapi. However you do it. So if prana is greatest, oldest and greatest, and if you meditate, then also the result is there. If prana is not oldest and greatest, and still look upon prana as oldest and greatest, then also the result will be. That's the idea. Sarvathapitu pranam jeshta shrestha gunam yo veda upaste. Who meditates, Sah Swanam Jnatinam Jeshtasya Shreshtasya Bhavati. He becomes the oldest and greatest. Swana meaning Jnatinam. Among his own relatives, he becomes the oldest and greatest. Then the reason is stated that Jeshta Shrestha Gunopasana Samarthyat Swabhyatirekenapi cha Yesham Madhye Jeshtascha Shreshtascha Bhavishyami Iti Bubhushati Bhavitamicchati Teshamapi Jeshta Shrestha Pranadarshi Jeshtascha Shreshtascha Bhavati. Jeshta Shrestha Gunopasana Samarthyat. Footnote number 3. Ukta Phalopa Samhara Anantaram Phalantaramaha. So Shruti said Jeshtascha Shreshtascha Bhavati Swanam. He becomes oldest and greatest among his own people, among his relatives. So, and Shruti said, Jeshtascha Shreshtascha Bhavati Evam Veda. So Shruti concluded, then, Ukta Phala Upasamhara Anantaram, having concluded the result, Phalantarama, another result also is there for the Upasana, that is being stated here. Jeshta Shrestha Gunopasana Samarthyat, on the strength of meditating upon the oldestness and greatestness. As it is a principle of the Upasana, that as you think, so you become. As the mind, so the man. And so as you think, so you become. So if you constantly think about being oldest and greatest and oldest and greatest and oldest and greatest, and for thinking that way to maintain that thought flow, I am oldest and greatest, I am oldest, I am greatest, I am oldest, I am greatest. For maintaining that thought flow, you must have some alambana, you must have some support, some alambana, some aid must be there. So prana is presented as alambana, which is possessed of this quality of oldest and greatest, and therefore looking at prana reminds you of the oldestness and greatestness. So very prana in fact brings up this idea in you. You look at the prana and prana actually invokes in you the idea of being oldest. Invokes in you the idea of being greatest. That is how the alambana must be provided. So for upasana meditation, such alambana must be provided as can invoke what it is that you want to meditate upon. If you want to meditate upon God having certain attributes, then a specific alambana is provided to us which will invoke those attributes, it will make it possible or convenient for us to meditate upon Lord, possessed of those attributes. So some sadhushya must be there, some similarity must be there between the pratika, so symbol, and that which stands for the symbol. Some similarity must be there. But the basic principle of upasana is, as you think, so you become. So here this fellow wants to become oldest and greatest. For that is his ambition. So he is given this upasana, all right, meditate upon prana as possessed this quality. So Jeshta Shrestha Gunopasana Samarthyat. By the strength of this upasana, maintaining this thought flow that I am oldest and I am greatest, Swabhyatirekenapi cha yesham madhye So, Svavatirekena, footnote 4, Jnati-vatirekena. Even other than his own caste people are, or relatives, Jnati means relatives. So, even if he wants to become oldest and greatest among people other than people that are his relatives, then, so Svavatirekena apicha yesham madhye jeshthascha shreshthascha bhavishyami. I guess that's what they must be doing when they stand for a contest election. You must meditate in this way, you know, I want to become this, that's all. He's committed to the idea of becoming a minister. He contests the election. So constantly entertains that thought. Maybe, perhaps, entertaining thought for a few years is not enough, so they keep on doing again and again. Like Nixon, you know, and so in 1960 he lost the election at the hands of Kennedy. He resigned at that time because the journalists were really making fun of him, you know, they were humiliating him. And therefore he told these journalists, gentlemen, this is the last time they are able to do Nixon. Nixon is no more available, you know, for this. He's quitting. When he came back, he must have meditated, I want to be president, 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 president. In 68 he came back and won the election, you know. So it must take a long time and a tremendous amount of commitment to perform the Upasana. It is not there for no reason that people become what they become. It is a result of a tremendous amount of effort that they put in there. It is not just thinking about it also, but that thought also must be, to realize that thought also, the karma and upasana samuchaya is required, you know. And so you must require jnana karma samuchaya. So you must do the karma. And that means that you must establish yourself as oldest and greatest. And in America you cannot get away without establishing yourself. Basically you cannot get away, I mean, you know. And therefore you must show yourself to be really possessed of all the knowledge. On every issue you must have well thought out every issue. Number one, you must have opinion about every issue. You must have well thought about it. And you must be able to present it and justify your position. And show also how that opinion that you possess is going to be beneficial to America. To the people of America, whatever it is that you want to proclaim, you know. And so it is not that just because you are popular that you will get away with it. You can get away to a certain extent. Then people will grill you. They'll ask you questions. Then there will be debates. And you will be on the TV. And then you have to answer the questions, you know. And so at that time you don't have any aids. And so you must really perform. And still people perform. And still they get away. People are cleverer than people anyway. So if journalists are smart, those fellows are even smarter. If people are smart, they are even smart. You need to be smarter than others, that's all. Not necessarily greatest, but you must be the smartest, you know, that's what you must be. And so, a smarter person can manipulate everybody. Clinton can manipulate, you know, these fellows. They know how to, they are extremely smart. I tell you, the Indians have no, they're all wheeling and dealing is a different thing. These people are all very gross wheeling. This is Mamata Banerjee, you know, that she'll just resign. Or this Jayalalitha. Very gross. They do the wheeling and dealing all right, but in a very gross way. You have your gunda, that is all you do. And so you threaten, openly you threaten, that's all. I will resign, I will withdraw, I will hit you, I will kill you. They literally do that. So in India, of course, wheeling and dealing is there. That's all that is. There is nothing more than that. They cannot stand, you know, this kind of grilling, I guess. If you ask this Minister of Finance or Minister of Internal Affairs or whatever it is, and ask him various questions, he will be totally ignorant, you know. Sometimes Chief Minister says, I did not know this. This information has not come to me. Whatever, if you say that, I don't know what will happen to you there, you know. People will right there and then perhaps take you to task. But anyway, so you must work hard. That jnana karma samuchaya. In your mind you meditate, I want to be president, president, president. And you do whatever is necessary also, karma samuchaya. It takes years and years of preparation. Even from a very young age, people must aspire to be presidents. You know, you cannot become president just like that. Like Clinton must have aspired. He was governor of Arkansas twice, and you must be preparing for it, you know. Otherwise, you can't just come in. Nobody knew who is Clinton. What is Arkansas state? People did not know, you know, in the world that there is a state called Arkansas. You know, Arkansas, what? Where is it? Clinton who? You know, that's the question they were asking. But in no time he just become world famous, So, the idea is that this is meditation. And the effort that goes for the meditation also. So, jnana and karma, samuchaya must be there. You may be great, but you may not become president unless you meditate, I want to be president. There may be many great people there. But they just don't aspire. They don't have that aspiration. And therefore they don't become. And this person has aspiration and he becomes. So, Jeshtha, Shrestha, Gunopasana, Samarthyat. That's all. This is what Indians, in our scriptures teach us. How thinking is so important. How maintaining a certain desirable thought flow is so important. It is not only that the upasana or the meditation is only on God, on anything that you want. Premeditated murder also can be there, it's meditation. But then we become what we think. It's up to us as to what we want to become. It's up to us then. Therefore, what is upasana or meditation is deliberately planting a certain thought flow. You plant a certain thought flow. That's why the nama is given, Rama, Rama, Rama. That nama means a certain thought also. When you utter the name Rama, automatically it invokes a certain thought. That's why name has such an importance, because the rupa must go along with the nama. Or nami must come along with the nama, and therefore you keep repeating Rama, 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 and then a robber can become a great saint, just by virtue of that repeating name, meaning repeating a thought. He may not know what Rama the person is, but he would know that Rama means God. That's all. So idea of that godliness, of that reverence, that devotion, all of that is invoked. He maintains that thought flow. Keep doing it. So there was in one ashrama, this Mahatma was very well known. He had several disciples. And so one of the disciples used to complain, I'm working so hard and I'm such and such and still people don't respect me. And look at these fellows, other disciples, and they're respected. So literally so. This Mahatma said, if you want to be respected, mala le lije aapke haath mein, and start doing japa. Sit in the corner, do the japa. And you will find in course of time, you will get the respect. Do what is required to earn the respect. Don't just demand respect, do what is required to earn the respect. The idea is that you must deliberately plan a certain thought flow. Then your mind becomes that and you become that. So, Jeshtha, Shrestha, Gunopasana, Samarthyat, on the strength of meditating upon the Jeshthatvam and Shresthatvam, Svavyatirekaṇāpi. If he desires to become oldest and greatest among people who are not his relatives but others, so, Yesha Madhye, Jeshtasya, Shreshtasya Bhavishyami, I want to be greatest, oldest and greatest among these people. Iti bhūshati bhavidamicchati. So one who wants to become that, Teshapi Jeshtasya Pranadarshi, Jeshtasya Shreshtasya Bhavati. Among them also, this meditated upon the prana becomes Jeshta and Shrestha, the oldest and greatest. Then, Jeshtatvasya Vidyapharatvam Akshipati. This Shrestha we can understand. Shrestha means greatest by virtue. So you can actually acquire the virtues. You can work hard and become the greatest. But oldest you cannot become. Oldest depends upon the age, The greatest you can become perhaps by working hard, but oldest how can you become? So, Jeshtatvasya Vidyaphalatvam Akshipati. I want to become oldest and greatest among them. You can become greatest among them. How can you become oldest? How can you determine that you are born first? Because being oldest is dependent upon the birth. So, Jeshtatvasya Vidyaphalatvam. So, even if you meditate upon something, if it is not existent, how can you get the result of meditation? If you are not the oldest, how can you become oldest among them? So, Jeshtatvasya Vidyaphalatvam Akshipati, the result of the meditation upon I being the oldest is questioned here, Nanu iti. Nanu Vayo Nimittam Jeshtatvam Tata इच्छातः कथं भवति इति उच्यते. So, no, wait a minute. Vayo nimittam jyeshthatvam. Being oldest depends upon the age. Tad ichchātā katham bhavati. How can desire become oldest in age? You know, you can become greatest by desire, but how can you become oldest? So, Anandagiri says, Tasya Vidya Phalatvam Sadhayati. Bhāṣyakara here establishes how you can become oldest also. Uchchadeti. The answer is given. Says, Ichchātah Jaishtyam Dussadhyamiti Doshasya Asattvamaha. Ichchātah Jaishtyam Dussadhyam. That you cannot by desire become the oldest, so it cannot be accomplished, so doshasya, that dosha is not there. In what the kind of oldestness that you are talking about, the dosha that you are talking about, or the raising is not there. Naiti. Naisha dosha pranavata vrittilavasyeva jeshtatvasya vivakshitatvat. Naisha dosha. That dosha, the defect is not there because we just explained. That's the reason why Bhāṣyakara took time to explain how prana is jeshta. How prana is oldest, even though he is born, he is conceived at the same time as the people, other organs, he is still oldest because the functioning of other organs depends upon his functioning. So that's how the prana was said to be the oldest, not being born first, but functioning first. So, naisha dosha pranavat vrittilavasyeva jeshtvattasya vivakshitatvat. Like prana. So, vrittilava, functioning first. Vritti means functioning. Lava means coming into functioning. And therefore, that he functions before everything else. That's how prana was called oldest. In this similar manner also, you can become one who functions first, who is a leader, who takes the initiative. That's how you can become oldest also and greatest also. Siddhanagiri pranavat tatra hetumaha pranavat yatha pranakrita ashanadi prayuktah chakshurādīnām vrittilāvah तथा प्राणोपासकाधीनां प्राणोपासकोधीनं जीवनम अन्येषां स्वानां च भवति प्राणदर्शन ज्येष्ठत्वं न वयो निबंधनम इत्यर्थः. यथा जस्ट एज प्राणकृत अशनादि प्रयुक्तः चक्षुरादीनां वृत्तिलाभः. How eye and other organs actually begin to function on account of pranakrut ashanadi. It is prana that actually assimilated the food that was provided by the mother, It is prana that assimilated food and then provided to other organs. Yatha pranakrita ashanadi prayuktah chakshurādīnām vrittilābhah. How chakshu and other organs actually begin to function on account of being fostered or nourished by the prana. Tatha, in a manner similar to that, pranopasakādhīnam jivanam anyesham svanam cha bhavati. And similarly also, it is possible that what will happen is that the upasaka of the prana. So, the life of other people will depend upon this person. He will become the provider of life, nourisher of them, supplier of them, provider of them. So, prana upasakādhīnam jivanam anyesham. So, of other living beings, svanam cha bhavati, other people as well as his own relatives, iti pranadarshana jeshthatvam. And thus, being the oldest on the part of the meditator upon prana, na vayo nibandhanam, is not connected to or not dependent upon the age, it is dependent upon his functioning first or is fostering the others to make them function. In that sense, just as prana is oldest only in that sense, similarly also the prana upasaka can become oldest in that sense only. Vivakshitatvat, that's the vivaksha. Not that in the age he becomes oldest, but the vivaksha is that he is the one because of whom other people function like the prana. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bṛhadāraṇyam Sutrabhāṣya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Muktaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Yo Havai Jyeshtam Cha Shreshtam Cha Veda. Jyeshtascha Shreshtascha Svanam Bhavati. Prano Vai Jyeshtascha Shreshtascha. Jyeshtascha Shreshtascha Svanam Bhavati. Apicesham Bhushati. Evam Veda. So first of all, Bhashyakara explained how Tasmat Punah Karanat Pranabhava Gayatriyaha Na Punah Vagadi Bhava iti. So how come in the earlier upasanas the Gayatri was equal to prana and not to other organs? Tasmat Jyeshtasya Shreshtasya Prana. Because prana is Jyeshta as well as Shreshta. Na Vagadaha. That other organs are not possessed of this quality of being the oldest and the greatest, while prana is possessed of that. Therefore, Gayatri was meditated upon as prana. And also the connection was given here. The Kasam Jyeshtatvam Shreshtatvam Pranasthedi Tan Nirdhārishya Idam Arabhyate. This Brahmana is begun to determine how prana is the oldest and the greatest. Athva Ukta Yussam Akshatradi Bhavaihi Pranasya Upasanam Abhitam. Or other way it can be said, in the subsequent Upasana, the Ukta Upasana. So Gayatri Upasana was stated, Ukta Upasana was stated, whereas prana was stated Ukta, Yajuhu, Sama, Kshatram, Satsopanyeshu Chakshuradishu. In the Ukta Upasana also, even when other organs are there, it was prana that was said to be meditated upon as Ukta, Yajuhu, Sama, Kshatram. Tatta hetu matram anantarena sambadhyate. This Brahmana or this, becomes the anantara. It follows subsequently. The hetu matrena. Since something was stated, the reason for that must be stated, and therefore this Brahmana states the reason for what was stated earlier. That Gayatri is to meditate upon as prana or the Yukta, etc. Why is it so? The reason is being given here because prana is Jyeshta, Shreshta, etc. Na punha purvasheshata. That this Brahmana does not form the part of the earlier one. Vyakshitam tu khirattvadasya kandasya purvatra yadanuktam vishishtapalam prana vishnu upasanam tadvaktavimiti. And this being khilakanda, meaning providing what is unsaid or what needs to be stated. So this being like an appendix, therefore it is quite alright that this Brahmana presents the upasana of prana which was not stated earlier. And with this introduction then Bhashyakara explained this Kandika. Now, this particular portion alone is being discussed in the Karodpatra, beginning from on the bottom of the page 1440. Yohovai Jeshtam cha Shreshtam cha Veda ityadi. So one who meditates upon Jeshta and Shrestha, Atra Ahu Vṛhadāraṇyaka with reference to this, the Vārtikara has this to say, Tathahi Samāpta Saptamodhyaya Prāpta Avasara Uchyate Astamah Khilakhandesmin Purvakandeshu Anuktitaha. And so Samāpta Saptamah Adhyaya Prāpta Avasara Uchyate. The explanation of this is to be found on the next page. Purvottar Adhyaya Sambandhamaha Samāpta. So the Vārtikara first of all gives the Sambandha, the relationship between Purvadhyaya and Uttaradhyaya, the earlier chapter and this particular chapter. Purvottar Adhyaya Sambandham. So Purvadhyaya, the 5th and now the 6th chapter. Samāptaha Saptamodhyaya. The 7th chapter, that is 5th chapter, is concluded. What has all been stated? Vartika, the Tikakara says, Omkaraha Damaditrayam Brahma Abrahmopasanani Tatphalani. Tadartha Gatihi Adidyadi Upasthanam Ityevam Arthaha Saptamaha Tavadhyaya Asmin Khalakande Ativruttaha. And you saw earlier, in fact, the same sentence was provided here, given here. So the 5th chapter provided the Upasana upon Omkara. So the nature of Omkara was stated, the Upasana of Omkara also was stated, the Saguna Brahma and Nirguna Brahma. Damaditrayam also by the Akhyayika of the Prajapati and this Devadana Manava, these 3 values also were stated. Damaditrayam, so Damyata, and then Datta and Dham. Brahma, Abrahma Upasanani. Also in earlier Kanda, earlier chapter, the Upasana's meditation upon Brahma and those things which are not Brahma also were stated. Tat Phalani. And naturally the result of the Upasana's meditation also were stated. Tadartha Gatihi. And the Gati, the subsequent passage after the departure from this body, also was stated. Adityadi Upasthanam. Also salutation of Aditya, salutation of Agni also was stated. Iti evam arthaha samaptaha tavad adhyaya. So the 5th, the earlier chapter, which explain or describe all of this, is concluded. Asmin Khalakande Ativruttaha. In this Khalakanda, the 5th chapter is what has gone by with all these subject matter. Samprati Bṛhadāraṇyaka Upaniṣad Safalani Śrīmantādi Karma ch Anuktam Vaktavyam. Now, Shruti feels that the other upasanas also must be stated to supplement what was stated earlier. Samprati Bṛhadāraṇyaka Upaniṣad Safalani Vaktavyani. That meditations upon things that are not Brahman, along with their result also must be stated. Śrīmantādi karma cha, and a karma called Śrīmanta, that also should be stated. And Putra Mantha, another karma also. Anuktam Vaktavyam. That all these which are not stated in the earlier Kanda or earlier chapter also must be stated. Iti Ashtamodhyaya Arabhyate. It is that in mind that the 8th chapter is commenced here by the Shruti Ityarthaha. So this is the meaning of this statement of Vārtikara, Samāptaha Saptamodhyaya. The 7th chapter by their calculation, 5th chapter by ours. So that 5th chapter is concluded because Bhāshyakara has not commented upon the first 2 chapters, and therefore we count from 3rd chapter, they count from the 1st chapter. समाप्तः सप्तमोऽध्यायः. Then the टीका सप्तमाद अष्टमस्य आनंतरे हेतुमाः. What is the reason why the 8th chapter follows? So, when the 7th chapter is complete, all of this material has been given there. What is the need now for beginning the 8th chapter? Why should 8th chapter follow the 7th chapter? Hetuma, the reason is being stated here. Prapta avasaraha uchyate. So now the avasara, the occasion for beginning the 8th chapter also has now obtained, and that is why the 8th chapter is begun here. See Dhanagiri, Brahmopasana sambandhe vichare pradhanyena vyatite sati. The 5th chapter primarily presented the Brahma Upasana Sambandha Vichara. Presented in fact in inquiry or investigation or deliberation upon the Upasana's meditation pertaining to Brahma, Saguna Brahma, Pradhanyena Vyatite Sati. So primarily that is what the 5th chapter stated, the meditations upon Saguna Brahma. Brahma Upasana Vicharam Pradhanyena Kartum. So this chapter presents Upasana's meditations which have subject matter other than Brahma, Brahma. So Brahma Upasana Sambandha Vicharam Pradhanyena Kartum. So primarily this chapter presents the Vichara, a deliberation upon meditations which have subject matter other than Brahma. Adhyayantaram, and that's the reason for this subsequent Adhyaya. Nahi pradhana vichara adrute apradhana vichara sambhavade. Why not this was played earlier and the 5th chapter later? Says no, you must first deliberate upon that which is the principle of subject matter, and then alone you deliberate upon the secondary subject matters. So this chapter presents deliberation upon the subject matters which are called for upasanas, those subject matter which are different from Brahma, and therefore it is quite proper that the secondary thing should follow the primary thing. The primary must precede. So Prapta avasaraha uchyate, or Prapta avasare uchyate, you can say that avasara, the occasion for the 8th chapter is obtained. That is why the 8th chapter is given. Ashtamaha khilakande asmin. So, Ashtamaha adhyaya asmin khilakande uchyate. So, when the avasara, the occasion will come, then in this khilakanda, the 8th chapter is being now commenced by the Shruti. Then say Anandagiri, Khilakanda seva anupayuktatvad. But why should that Khilakanda be there in the first place? You are talking about the 2nd chapter in Khilakanda which is begun. Why is Khilakanda consisting of the last 2 chapters? Why should it be there in the first place? Then the question of the 2nd chapter of Khilakanda comes. When the Khilakanda, being the Khilakanda itself is justified, then alone the 2nd chapter can be justified. But we don't see the need for this Khilakanda, the appendix, to begin with. Khilakanda seva anupayuktatvad. We don't see any upyoga. We don't see any use of the subject matter presented in this Khilakanda. So kathamithamidi ashankyaha. Then why should all this be presented here? So purvakandeshu anuktitaha. Because in the previous kandas, this was not stated, and therefore the Khilakanda is to give us the information on that which was not included in the previous kanda. Now purvakandeshu, so karmakandena sah bahukti. The bahuvachanam, the plural is used in purvakandeshu. Only 2 kandas are gone by, Madhukanda and Munikanda. So Purvakandayoho Dvivachan should have been there, but Purvakandeshu, so Tikakara says Karmakandena Saha. The first 2 chapters comprise of Karmakanda. Second 2 chapters Madhukanda. Third 2 chapters Munikanda. That is how Bahuvachan. Therefore Karmakandena Saha Bahukti. How come Purva Kandeshu, the plural is used, including Karma Kanda. Because this Kanda talks about a karma also, So Shri Mantra and Putra Mantra, etc. So this karmas are not stated in the Karma Kanda also. So this becomes appendix of Karma Kanda and Upasanas become appendix of the Jnana Kanda. So says Anandagiri, apunarukta artha sadbhavad upayuktam tad ityartha hai. Since this states something which is not stated earlier, so apunarukta artha sadbhavad, meaning Khilakanda does not just repeat what has been stated earlier, gives something that is not stated earlier, therefore it is useful, and that's why the Khilakanda also is useful. Purvakandeshu anuktitaha. Okay. So this is the relationship of this adhyaya with the previous adhyaya. So Anandagiri says, adhyaya sambandha muktva adya brahmanasya avandara sambandham chodya purvakamaha. Adhyaya sambandha muktva, this sambandha, the relationship that this adhyaya, this chapter has with the previous chapter. So 6th chapter and 5th chapter, the relationship is stated. Having stated that, Adya Brahmanasya, of this particular Brahmana, the first Brahmana that we discussed, Avandara Sambandham, it has some additional relationship also with the previous Adhyaya. So the whole Adhyaya has a relation of Anantariya. The whole chapter becomes, so follows the previous chapter, Anantariya Sambandha there, or Hetu Madhava also is there. Hetu is not given, Anantariya alone is basically there. So one thing is told, and this subsequently another thing is being told. But then this particular Brahmana enjoys an additional relationship also